Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream. So today I'm again together with Millennium VR Internal, and I think we should be live by now.
Yes, we are live.
So I guess it will still take a while until the people join, but for everybody who is watching later, thanks again so much for coming back to watching this stream. And you're joining the stream already. I didn't know that it was actually coming up that fast. I always felt like there would be a delay of like a minute or so.
You know, YouTube is on their streaming game because they're losing to Twitch in many ways, so they have to keep the response time down.
Did you know that they're actually offering like 3 different settings which all relate to the latency sort of the stream? Like they will give you settings for having a stream that's like almost instantly, but then you will have less other features, and then like there's a couple of steps anyways where you can set the delay. I think you can even manually set a delay, like you want it to be a couple of minutes later or something.
Makes sense. Okay, let me check to see if chat is active real quick. I decided to change.
3 people watching so far. So say hi, people.
Yay! I changed my desktop. I feel proud of myself.
But nobody commented on your screen anyways last week.
I'm still self-conscious. You gotta remember that for like 8 months back when I was a streamer, all the attention was focused on me. I'm not used to this dual stream format at all, my friend. I'm curious what you have going on. Oh, okay, you've got a skull going on as well.
You gotta set it up somehow that you can see like the image somehow. You don't have 2 screens, do you?
I do. I do have 2 screens, but the problem herein lies with the UG2150 graphics display tablet. It is a great graphics display tablet, a great alternative from the Wacom. The problem is that ZBrush does not solely recognize it as a tablet. It has to be the only thing connected to your workstation, to your computer, for the monitor motion tracking to work properly. So,
man, that's annoying.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let me show you what the full sculpt of this looks like real quick. Oh, that's not the right one. Pop. There we go. It's a very unusual design in terms of physical anatomy, but it's based off a game character, so what can you do?
Nice. So we're again sculpting today then.
Yes, indeed. I'm just, whoa, we got 1 like here. We got 2 likes because I'm going to like it myself.
Great. So what's the plan for today? Let's quickly talk about that maybe. I can start with myself quickly. Basically, this is the sculpt that I worked on last week in the stream, and I want to try to continue it from exactly where I left off, and like try to continue this habit so that everybody can follow along. And what's really funny is that throughout the weeks, like between the streams, it is not like I'm not practicing or doing anything at all, and so I will learn a lot during each week, and so I'll kind of rework on many parts. So it's kind of a very interesting progress for me. But how about you on your side?
You know, I kind of flutter around between projects. Since I worked last Saturday when you invited me out to stream, I tried to work on a human head, and I just wasn't having any luck. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the right mood for sculpting. But afterwards, I took 15 minutes out and I made a head. This isn't that head, but I've primarily been working. Actually, this brings up a really interesting topic. I've been working on hair. And there's a multitude of different types of hair. You've posted a tutorial. Well, you've had your anime tutorial. I've only done the second one. in which you showed how to do it just with basic poly modeling to make some simple hair shapes.
Yeah, hair is quite a, what would you say, a very diverse world of opportunities that you'll have there.
Most certainly. What I've been working on is the fiber mesh feature within ZBrush.
Oh, really?
It's really nice, but it's very organic. And here I can show you. These are two of the fiber mesh strands that I was playing around with. They don't really look very nice, to be honest. There is a large learning curve.
Well, as soon as you render it, it looks very different.
But there, as you can see, there's different segment strands here where it's I wouldn't say pixelated, but you can see where one strand, you can count out the different segments all the way going to down to the bottom, and there's some intense stretching going on. So it's a rather interesting feature. I will say this, I do believe it's in its infancy right now because a lot of features on ZBrush are experimental. Spending like 6+ hours working with it, I was able to get some decent results with it, but I think I'm just going to move into Blender and try the hair rendering there because it's more akin to Maya.
I don't have any experience with it myself, but I've seen some incredible work being done with it, though. I'm not so sure if it's really that limiting. Like, it's all about settings, probably. But they actually do export the hair and hair geometry, basically, into other software and render it the way it is, from what I know. But that's very, very new to me still, so I can't say much more.
Oh. Let's see. Kefka03 writes, Hi. Welcome to the stream, Kefka03.
Definitely, welcome. Are you here for the first time, or have you been here during the past streams before?
It's unfortunate that YouTube doesn't have a timestamp so we can find out what was the latency, how long did it take me to...
But it sure isn't long. Like, when I started the stream until it showed up on your side, it was really a couple of seconds, like less than 10 seconds, 5 seconds maybe.
Well, I'm saying I don't know how long it took me to notice that someone had commented.
Oh, okay. But, well, I don't think it was too long.
I hope not.
If you perform too low, you'll be fired anyway, so be careful, okay?
I understand. This is my performance review.
Just kidding.
Every day is my performance review.
Anyways, I have a good story to share to kind of get a conversation starting. I had a very, very inspiring experience in the past week.
Oh, really?
So, my university actually organizes the TEDx events every year, and basically it doesn't mean much, just like that. Like, they just get some speakers who seem like they can teach us something, and they get them on stage, and we can go there. But this year here, it was really, really like interesting for me. They actually invited a photorealistic Korean artist. His name, I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong, but his name is Jeong Won. You spell it JEONG WON. And he did a talk about his view on art, like how people should be more individualistic, and various topics. And it was very inspiring, like, especially because it was a fairly small event with I think a little bit more than 100 people only, but we were able to go and talk to these people after the show. So I was able to go there, talk to him, find out about his kind of practice schedule, how he feels about art, and about his life a little bit. And of course I got my sign, so that's wonderful as a motivational thing to have in your room. We have a few new people. Hi,
Yes.
Blaze Osmond.
Hey, don't try to steal my job. I was letting you finish your story, and then I was going to read the comments. Don't make me fire you, Daniel.
Go ahead. I won't take your job.
Yes, I'll feel inferior and start cowering in a corner if you take my one purpose away. Be like anime all over again. All right. Blaze Osman writes, "Hi. Kefka03 writes, it's cool, the stream, exclamation, exclamation. I always loved your tutorials. Just a pity that's rare. Smiley
Yeah.
face.
I wish it
I guess
wouldn't be
that's
that rare.
And indeed, Daniel, where's my photorealistic hair tutorial?
Still working on it, like for the past 3-4 years, you know. Someday. So, have you ever had the chance to meet some artists?
I did. I've told this story on stream before, and this is getting to some extreme territory. So there was this musical artist who I idolized, and I had the opportunity to meet him.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he's like 6 foot, I would say 6'4". So he's like maybe 190 centimeters tall. He's tall. He's very tall. And, well, he kind of put his arm around my waist and brought me in really close when we met backstage.
What?
Kind of smelled my hair.
Why?
And
That sounds
told
weird.
me, looking into my eyes, you smell amazing. You smell like roses. And I just kind of like, I was just completely taken aback. And I'm like, thank you. He's like, what shampoo do you use? And I'm like, I don't even know. Because at that point I was like, oh my God, this is my hero. Why is he suddenly hitting on me? And he wouldn't really let me go.
That sure is awkward.
Yeah. And he was my hero. And that was my experience meeting my hero. I'm going to save out the other details from that story, but I'm going to read some comments. I'm going to read some comments now. So yeah, I think your experience of meeting like one of your hero or someone you could look up to in a hero, great. Mine, weird.
Oh my God. Sorry. My sculpt just got green. You'll see it in a second. Whatever.
All right, let's see. Oh, no. It's all over now. All right, let's see. Cupcake Tyrant Dar writes, do you plan on making any tutorials for males? ? Not exactly sexy, but you know.
Perfect that you bring it up, actually. Let me show a couple of things. I wanted to touch on that anyways. I will quickly save this file and show you what else I've been working on in this week. Okay, so because I'm as I said, I'm working throughout the week. I'm not just doing the sculpting, the streams. I mean, obviously I want to get better, so I need lots of practice. And so the other sculpts that I make actually all tend to be male because I feel like I can learn a bit more from it right now. And here is one, for example, should be showing up on your side in a bit. Like, I tried to go a bit into the asymmetry, and I tried obviously to do kind of the male side of things. So there's nothing against it, you know, as for his question on YouTube. But yeah, I wonder. I can do both, but I just happen to choose now a female character for the stream. I guess the next one we do can be a male character. And I can quickly show off the others too. Like, in this one I try to go a bit extreme in kind of some dimensions, some proportions, kind of to making it a very long expressional face. But then I also tried to go a bit more realistic again, which ended up making the face kind of boring maybe, but this is another version that will take a few seconds to come up on your side. But anyways, on this one I happened to allow myself to move into some directions which didn't seem natural to me at first. It's not that great but like the way the neck is kind of short and has this shape, or the nose as it is kind of big. Like I kind of focused on pushing it a bit into the unnatural, but into something that should make it a bit more realistic. And then finally, a third one that I made. I think I have 4. This is kind of now a bit a step back in my opinion. It kind of lost a lot of its personality in the third sculpt. So I don't have too much to comment on this one, but let me just open up the last one that I did in this week. These take me around, let's see, 2 hours, 3 hours each maybe, because I go very much back and forth and I experiment with it throughout it, otherwise it would be faster. So with this time, looking at it now, I kind of see lots of issues again, but with this one I tried to, because I did 3 male characters, I was thinking now, can I now go back and see the differences between male and female? So I tried this one, keeping though the things that I figured make it a bit more realistic, but well, here and there did some good things, did some bad things, but it was a good practice anyways. And this is now where I'm finally coming back to what I started last week on YouTube, which is now interesting because I have the experience of 4 new projects in the meantime. Yes.
Okay, wow. We're going to continue on with comments because they're starting to pile up.
Well,
okay.
I think we don't have to hurry on them too much anyways, because the good thing is that they will just keep us talking, so we can just, talk about one thing after another.
Most certainly. Let's see. What am I looking at, guys? Okay, quick explanation. On the left, it's the man you came here for, the Daniel Koiter, also known as Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. On the left, it's me, Millennium VR Eternal. I'm working on Zero, he's working on Original, I believe.
So, where is this character from, by the way?
Drakengard 3.
I have seen, trailer-like things of it before, and I've really liked the quality of the whole thing, but I've never figured out what it's called, so that I can take a look at it.
Now, I sent it to you.
Did
way
you?
Back. Yeah, no, I sent you the
Did I say the same thing back then?
Yeah.
I probably have.
You did. No, the openings. Okay, honestly, the opening cinematic to the game, which is where these screen caps are from, is absolutely stunning and beautiful. The rest of the game has a very, very low poly count. It's incredibly well made for as few polys as the game characters have. But it's not as impressive. I can tell you that. They had a lot of technical limitations, unfortunately.
Very well designed. I like it.
Yeah. I thought I would do something as a treat. Saying last time it did not.
I kind of like it also because I can keep looking on your side of the screen and kind of use it as a reference for kind of where I want to push my character.
Okay.
I have my own reference open anyways, but these are just some pictures of real humans, nothing really towards character design. So they're maybe a little bit boring.
There's an interesting... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it just gives me some material to work with anyways.
There's a really interesting quality about Zero from Drakengard, is that her face, her cheeks are perfectly rounded. The largest point of her skull ends basically at her ears. It's a unique trait. She's got kind of a Western... she's got Western traits, but her face shape is a little bit more Eastern.
Don't you think it's funny how as soon as you get more serious about art, how you start to look at everybody's face not like at the face as in at the person, but more like at the face as in, oh man, this nose is really wide. Being all creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's nice, because you're isn't it so nice? I think you said, isn't it so fun or something? It's not nice or fun. You just end up studying everything you do.
Well, I like it. I think it is something. Well, but that's just my subjective interest in it. But anyways.
I'm gonna read some more I'm gonna read more comments. Let's see. Looks. Let's see. We already did blistered fingers. Cupcake. I'm just gonna call you Cupcake. Cupcake writes, "Looks like you're sculpting Zero from Drakengard." Yes, indeed. Silence Laponi writes, "Oh yay! Awake for a stream!" Exclamation point. Indeed. It's nice of you to join us. Science Laponi. Oh, Zero. Ooh, Zero Sama indeed. Utahime Zero Sama. Okay. Blaze Osmond. I'm doing animation in university, so all your videos really help because I do 3D.
Oh, really? Somebody's in art school for animation? Did I get that right?
Blaze Osmond. Yes.
Nice.
Blaze Osmond.
I really wish I could do this sometime in my life. Go to art school. Just for the experience, just for meeting people. I'm pretty sure that I won't really learn the things that I want there. But just for the experience, I want to go there. Oh, by the way, this guy who came to the TED Talk, which I mentioned earlier, who was this photorealistic artist, he also said pretty much that he doesn't think at all that art school is necessary by any means. He himself went to art school, though, if I remember correctly, but he said that he absolutely doesn't think that it is something people have to attend in order to become artists.
Wonderful. You know, it's like I think it's important to point out, you know, that one of the big barriers that keeps people from things like art school, or rather not art school, but diving into 3D, is even the price. And I think it's really important to note, Daniel started on Blender, if I'm not mistaken, the free 3D platform animator / it does everything Blender.
It does everything is a good point.
It really does. You can edit films and make music. It's an all-around great tool. It's very similar.
The funny thing is, when you get into Blender, you actually really start for every task being like, hey, I could use Blender for that. Like somebody's saying, make a poster. Hey, I could use Blender for that. Make a website mockup. Hey, I could use Blender for that. just everything that's not even related to 3D, you start using Blender for it. And I'm not kidding, I have actually made website mockups and like storyboards and everything with Blender.
I knew it. I was a Blender maniac. But to the point, Daniel's using ZBrush Core, which is $200, and it comes with a Wacom tablet. I think it's got a 7x5, 7x4. Yes, the ZBrush Core. It comes with a Wacom tablet. It doesn't have a graphics display tablet.
I guess there's a bundle that offers it.
The bundle's like $200 with ZBrush Core.
I didn't get that one.
Yeah. I don't know if they still have that option around. They did a few months ago when I checked it a few months ago, 6 months ago. I'm using the full version of ZBrush. This is like $800. And he's still out sculpting me. So the big price point, which keeps most people away from art school or a lot of these big programs, is irrelevant as long as you have dedication and time to put into it, you know. Skill isn't necessary, just the dedication to learn, work hard, I believe.
That's a really good way to put it, actually. Like, I did have all these expensive tablets and tools at some point. Like, I like through school, I was able to use many of the expensive software products. And I also got myself at some point like these graphic tablets with big screen. Somebody even borrowed me for a month or a bit longer the really huge Wacom tablet, and so I used all of these. But now, basically at this point, I'm really back to the minimum, and I can do more than I was ever able in those times. So it really shows you that even with a normal, tablet around $200, I guess it would be, you can still do all the art that you would want to do.
I'm gonna bow out for 2 seconds, use the facilities. I'll be back.
See you. I'll see what the comments are saying then. Let me see, where do we stop? Oh man, I guess I'll leave that job to him after all. I don't know until where he left. He read, but I guess I can talk a little bit about the sculpt in the meantime. Like, I'm always struggling a little bit with in which direction I want to put it. Like, stylized as in the reference images that you see on this side over here, or if I want to make it more realistic. It's always kind of a struggle to figure out the right balance between those two. And then what comes on top of that is that you never know how much you're actually able to control it. Like, some of it will always be random as well. So after I'm kind of done blocking out the neck part, I'm not very confident about this anyways. I just wanted to have it there so that I can imagine how it would look like continuing this character downwards on. But I want to kind of work on the proportions of the face, rework many parts, and we'll see where we get from there on. So you're back?
Yes, I'm back. What was the last comment you read? So I
actually ended up not reading them because I didn't know until where we got.
Okay. I'll take it over. Muna says, "Oh, question or exclamation point, exclamation point." I think that might have been to the story I was telling earlier, because that was about the time that popped up. These comments are a little bit old. Baby nose. I think that goes as for either yours or my sculpt. But Zero does have a baby nose. It's very, very small nostrils. Very cute. Cupcake Tyrant writes, is Garbo, but it's Taro, so I think he's referring to Drakengard 3, not you or me, hopefully. Let's see. Vibesh Gawai writes, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. I agree. I don't know the context.
I'm still thinking about that one. Okay.
Okay. Revisory Steam writes, Bibesh. ARA writes, well, you can 3D print them and cop a feel. Okay. Okay. Bibish Gawai, I am sorry, I forgot is a Christian channel. What? You can weigh in at any time. This is your channel, Daniel.
Why?
These are your people.
I'm sometimes struggling following the conversations.
I will put them in the best context I can. I don't think this is a Christian channel, Bibesh.
And it's nothing else either. Like, I mean, it's nothing particular.
I think he might be an elf. An elf in that case. Va fail, Gwynblade. Va fail. Okay, bro, sup? Are you using Blender?
I love how this question keeps coming up.
Would you like to answer this one, or would you like me to? Because I don't want to take over your stream.
Hey, I'll share the big news. The software that I'm using today is called ZBrush.
It is. It's a channel. It's the gospel. It's the good news. This is ZBrush.
No, but it's a wonderful tool. It is a sculpting software. You don't do polygon modeling in it too much. You basically work with virtual clay. You can kind of compare it to that. And you can go very detailed with character models, and it's a very nice program for character modeling. It costs a little bit, but if you're interested in character modeling, I suggest you take a look at it.
There is a free program called Sculptus. It's by the same people, Pixelogic, that make ZBrush. It's 100% completely free. I would recommend checking it out. It's got a lot of sculpting features of ZBrush, and it's a great entry into the sculpting world before you actually go out and spend any cash. As well as there are also trials for ZBrush and ZBrush Core, which is what Daniel's using.
You know what I think about that though? Like,
I should get money for plugging ZBrush.
No. Oh, by the way, I was thinking about really getting the pro version, but that's a different story. No, I was thinking that the sculptures can actually be quite demotivating, because you get started, and if you are a sculptress user, most likely you will have absolutely no experience, and so it will most likely be very frustrating for you. And then on top of that, you haven't even put anything on the line. Like, if you buy a software, at least you have spent like quite a bit of money to, like, you have to try a bit harder, right? You can't just give up on the first day if you spent that money. So maybe you get a little bit of a motivational boost and a little bit of what is it, resilience, maybe, if you spend some money, give a bit of a commitment before you start.
I agree. It's like buying a video game.
You don't have to do it with money, though. Like, if you find something else for you, some other way that won't let you get out of it easy, I guess that's also fine. But just know that the beginning is very hard, definitely, and don't get too pushed away from it just because it's hard.
Just keep fighting.
Keep fighting.
Fight the good fight. You're not harming anyone, just yourself, right?
We're finally getting a bunch of viewers now. I don't know why, but for some reason today, it kind of goes very slow with people joining the stream.
Again, we changed time. We streamed at maybe 5 or 6 last time, my time. Instead, we started about 4. So there is a time change. All right, I'm going to continue wading through these comments. That way we don't ignore anyone. Arg, I'm late, but I'm here, says Jim's Inkspot. Kefka03 writes, Daniel, do you plan on doing other tutorials on YouTube?
I definitely do, but like, what am I able to teach at the moment? Honestly, though, like, most of the things that I could do, other people have already done better than I would be doing anyway, so...
Yeah, but we love you.
Well, thank you for that compliment, but I don't think I should just put out random content just because I want to put out my voice. Like, I only want to really do it when I feel like I really did my best and this is something that will be useful to people.
Okay, moving on. Bibesh Gawai, I'm just going to call him Gawai. Hi. I'm in high school for 2D animation. Hell yeah.
That's great. I also was in a high school where we did specialize on multimedia. So unfortunately for me, it was a bit off topic because I was hoping to learn more about 3D when I applied, but we ended up learning a lot about graphic design, web design, typography. But it's great that you found a school for you where they teach animation. The only worry that I kind of keep having with high schools is that they can never be too serious about it, because high schools will still have to teach you the normal education. They will still have to teach you math and everything, and they will know that you can't 100% commit to it. And so it's not like it's still better than normal school if you want to learn something for interest, but it's easy to get a little bit disappointed if you're too passionate about it and if you're expecting more than what you get.
Indeed. Let's see, where are we at? ARA writes, yep, I think it would be great to make a tutorial about the new way you model the eyeballs.
I wish I could model eyes at all. I'm so struggling with that.
They're really hard and delicate to work on. Like even the ones I've made over on the right side of the screen, I have to remake these because these are pretty bad. They're too large for Zero.
Too large?
Yeah, they're too large. The pupils are far too big for
that's what you mean.
The eyeball itself is a good shape. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that
I actually think like
protrusion.
like if you don't speak about the eyeball, if you mean the shape of the eye, I almost feel like it's too small. Like, you know about this, probably about this proportion where the space between the corners of the eyes, the inner corners, should be about the same width as the eye itself. And in her case, her eyes seem to be a little bit further apart.
Yeah, they're pretty wide.
But that actually is kind of, what should I say? Like, you see how she has makeup that makes her eyes look wider? With that, they bring it in proportion again. So it's kind of an interesting mix between eyes that are actually a little bit further apart than kind of the average, but then they make it look like it's actually in proportion with the makeup. So
yeah, they pulled a lot in terms of designs off correctly with Drakengard 3 with the character models. It was absolutely amazing because there's little subtle differences on each of the models that is even translated from the CGI cutscene, where they're not perfect, but they look great because the artists knew what they were doing. I'm gonna continue on. Let's see. Aristalithi. What the? Come on, people. It's Friday. All right.
Oh, it's Friday on your side. I always keep getting surprised by that. But then I'm happy that I live in the future.
Yes, indeed. You give me the lottery number. You can make your own girlfriend with Blender too. Okay. Just don't think about the crippling loneliness. All right. James Moriarty. Haha. Blaze Osmond. Do you want to see a model I'm working on right now? Sure.
I can't really bring it up on the stream though. Like, I can look at it on my separate screen, but I can't really open it up for everybody.
Same here. All right, let's see where we're at.
But definitely post it in there. Like, I can take a look at things. This is actually something we could do in the future of streams. I think we could do some kind of very humble critique session. It's not like we know anything perfectly.
Speak for yourself, Daniel. Speak for yourself. I'm a great critique, just because I don't have as much skill.
Well, anyways, some people might gain from it. So, if people like that a lot, we'll think about that.
Oh no, I just don't even. All right. We got to continue because these comments are piling up. Okay. ARA responds to that guy who said, "Can you make a girlfriend in Blender?" Right? One can even one can even use Blender to off themselves. Maybe real life Blender. I don't know. I don't want to try it. Jim's Inkspot. Will you do another human modeling tutorial? I need to know mostly about modeling the face.
Well, am I not doing it right now?
I'll tell you, I'm going to get through a few of these comments, and then I'm going to ask Daniel some very helpful questions that might help you guys out about what exactly he's doing.
That sounds very good.
On the face. So we're going to power session. Ray Akuma Arts, good to see you again, my friend.
Oh,
Off yourself,
back.
Blender. Yep, I can confirm. ARA writes, how sculpted models can compare to polygon models in terms of performance. I'm just going to say that they can be equivalent, easily equivalent, as long as you know what you're doing. There's no reason why sculpting has to be better or worse than polygon models.
I don't really understand the question, to be honest.
For aesthetics,
but look at the couple of next comments. I think maybe they answer the question pretty well.
Oh, okay.
There's 3 comments from the same person.
Okay, I think GGP Games, I believe, is responding to our inquiry about why are people showing up slower than they did last time. Probably because it's past midnight for us in the UK, folks. All right. Cupcake writes, sculpted models would smash your computer into pieces. Sculpted meshes are used for baking into lower poly ones. Absolutely true. Cupcake writes again, so you would model your regular mesh, sculpt it, then retopologize your sculpt. and
That's a
he
common
writes.
workflow anyways. But if you do like stills, there's actually not a need to do that sometimes. I mean, many will still do it because it's kind of a good workflow and they can control it and get used to it. But it's kind of hard to compare because you will always have to think about what you need as a result. Because it's all dependent on that. I mean, if you don't need to do certain steps in your workflow, then it's better if you skip them. Well, anyways.
Yeah, I'll read a few and then we'll get to more of the tutorial section. And then use sculpted mesh as the normal map for your lower poly retopologized model. Indeed. MD. Oh, wait, we're at the bottom. MD writes ... Jim's ink spot. I mean, in Blender, I cannot afford ZBrush. Don't worry, I had to take out loans just to build my computer and buy this. I feel bad for AMD. Beyond Ellis is back. Welcome back, Beck. I feel bad for AMD. In my opinion, it has been the best content creation workload experience. Why do people keep going to NVIDIA? And that is why games these days don't work well with AMD hardware. All right.
It's a bit out of my what is it, knowledge to comment much on that.
I'm too sleep deprived to read properly, and I apologize. We're gonna do one more, and it's Arista, as I'm just gonna call that person Arista because I don't feel like
Isn't that the
mumbling
name
syllables.
of a Greek something god or something? No, some Greek person. Oh, it's just a similar name. I see.
I'm making my first 3D model on Blender. It takes me almost a week to do it. I can't make the hair. Haha, don't worry. A lot of people, including myself, struggle with that one myself. Even watching Daniel's hair tutorial is still a mesh. I think you mean mess.
Check it out. You can try doing my hair tutorial.
Hell, my own TUD reference is also a mess. MD, that is Zero from Drakengard 3. Yeah, be quiet, Daniel. This isn't your stream anymore. All right. I'm going to start asking you questions based... what brush are you currently using right now?
Good questions. I mean, these are questions that everybody would ask, usually. I never... so far I have not used custom brushes yet for my sculpts. I only keep using actually the clay build-up brush and the trim dynamic brush and the move brush. For the details I use the damn standard brush, and sometimes in some certain situations I might want to use inflate to give myself back some volume. Let me quickly explain when I use which one. Like the clay build-up, you can with the focal shift slider very easily make a setting for, if you want to keep it soft, or if you want to just do sketching more or less, or just like get some muscles in and you don't know the shape just yet, you can work with it in a very rough way. So I use this for everything where I want to add or remove some clay from my sculpt. Then the move brush is basically the first part of the sculpt. The first 5 minutes will almost be entirely move brush. I will try to get as far as I can from the sphere with just the move brush. So I'll go ahead and like drag out the chin, drag out the nose, kind of push in the eyes. That looks awful, but just to demonstrate. Showing up now on your side.
I would like to... Oh my god.
Yeah, the move brush will help. Sorry, what is it?
I was just gonna let MD know not to fall in love with Zero from Drakengard, but Cupcake just dropped the knowledge for us.
Okay.
Don't fall in love with her. She's a great character, but don't do it. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
So the move brush will help you in all situations where you need to shift like a lot at once. You can fix like proportions with it, and I will be using it in a bit. Like as soon as I'm kind of happy down here, I'll a lot of facial features around to get the proportions a bit different. The trim dynamic brush is very nice actually for even shaping. Often there will be like faces that you want to, as in faces I mean like planar areas of an object that you want to emphasize. For example, if I want to make the top of the nose look more like a plane, I can just use a trim dynamic and touch on it a couple of times, and you'll see how the edges will become very, very hard within a couple of seconds, and it gives you a lot of control as well. Like it's very comfortable to work with it, and you can actually use it for like getting quite a lot right. Like if you see that there is like, what do you call it, a bump in your model, you can flatten things out and it will leave a smooth result. So lots of advantages if you ask me. And the last one that I mentioned, two more that I quickly want to touch on. The down standard brush will give you this very fine line that's kind of indented. You can use it by holding down Alt the opposite direction, so you'll get it outwards, the distortion. And the focal shift can also help you a little bit to get it a bit stronger, a bit softer, the edges towards that. So you get some control with it. And this one helps you to, for example, the mouth, get these parts right. All the creases and folds that you get on the face, you can start by pushing it in very strongly, or maybe not so much, and then by smoothing it out again by holding down Shift. And I forgot to mention the smooth brush totally, but smooth is very important too. And finally, the inflate brush. If you just lost, for example, too much volume around the nose, I like to just push on it a couple of times, and you'll see how it just grows instantly. And actually, that doesn't even look too bad. I might have had my nose too small, but yeah, that's how you can use these brushes. And the others I use not too often, but you can throw in some primitives. For example, press M to select which one you want to drop, and then you can drop it in, and things like that. But anyways, those are just the other ones I don't really use much.
Wonderful. So I want to. I feel like there's many different types of learning when it comes to sculpture. So I want to ask you this. When I'm learning something, like let's say I'm learning a nose, I'll just keep remaking it until I can see the finer points that, how everything's shaped, where things should generally look right on humans, not necessarily the right proportions or the right size, because there's variation based on people and human anatomy, but how things should look, that the face generally, it does get wider sometimes at the ears, or it will dip down right past the cheekbone. Basically just human variation, but understanding where things start looking generally more appropriate. How do you go about learning those kind of second nature understandings of these characters? Do you do character anatomy charts, musculature studies? I'm curious.
That's a wonderful question. I want to hear your story about that too afterwards, though. Like,
okay,
let me just get started maybe, and then let's hear what you think about it too. So I think it's very important, first of all, to be very strategic about it. I've also asked this similar question actually to this artist that I met the other day, who, as I said, is a photorealistic artist, and he also seemed like a very, very logical person who keeps thinking about everything. So he said that everything is based on calculations for him, and that he doesn't really do his art in a like, in a mood way. He approaches them very, very strategically,
methodically.
And it's similar for me when I study. For example, recently I figured out that there are 3 dimensions to it that you want to study. I mean, this is something that I'll most likely revise again in the future, but at the moment, to me, there is like three dimensions to studying the human anatomy, which is first anatomy itself. Like, you need to know all the things that are below the surface so that you know where to put the details. Now, the issue is that you know how to put the details, but the whole face will still look out of proportion. So that's the second one that you need. You need to know proportion and anatomy, because anatomy will give you only the details. Proportion will give you the overall shape. So you have to make sure to study anatomy and proportion in combination. And finally, the third one, which is not so important in the first stage, but will be more important later, is distortion. Which kind of distortion gives off which sort of personality is a third dimension that I'll most likely have to explore in the future. But the good thing about that one is that we can skip it for now. Like with anatomy and proportion, you can start learning a standard face that you can then later on study your distortion with. And then I finally feel that it's a good idea to approach things very slowly, like little bits of information at a time. Like when you do the overall face in proportion anatomy, do it in a very, very rough way. Don't do it on the nose and every single muscle level. And then once you have like the whole proportion really good in your mind, like just do the block outs of the heads a bunch of times for a week or 2 weeks or a month or longer, and then move on to a very detailed section. Like for example, do just the nose, but this time focus on the details because you only have the nose to do. So always limit it either in amount or limit it in detail, so that what you do can be repeated within a very short amount of time, maybe within 30 minutes. Then you will be able to repeat it often and gain from it, and really learn the information. And then definitely use reference. That's another one I didn't mention. I mean, how are we supposed to know all these things if we don't look at how the real human looks like? There are people who get this. I mean, I myself for a long time tried never to use references, and I still barely use them for these kind of sculpts. I have references open next to me for like peeking at them now, but I still don't use many. But that's just really not too good of an idea. Especially while learning, you should use as many references as possible. Always compare your sculpt and especially your final results with real faces and try to look at the differences. How does it look different? Where does it look different? And then try to do these things right away in the next sculpt. And that's kind of a cycle of learning back and forth between reality and your sculpt.
So desu ne.
I hope that helped. It's kind of a very good topic actually to talk about, because it's very important too, because learning without a goal can actually be very inefficient. If you look at my faces 2 months ago, it will be a huge step, and I don't think it would have been possible if I wouldn't have approached it in a systematic way. But how about you? How do you do it in detail?
I'm not a very accomplished artist, and I would say I've come a very long way. Even what I'm working on isn't very, very good in terms of what I'm capable of, because I've been I'm a little out of practice. But I can certainly say this, that repetition, concentration, dedication, it sounds like crap, but going through it over and over again, and just each time learning a little bit something different. So for a while there, I was, even though this again, neck does not match this is a sculpt based off of Zero, and what I can tell to be her basic human proportions. They're not really believable when it's just the human anatomy itself, but when it's clothed, it looks right. I've done comparisons, or at least I believe it does. It looks right. I actually have the in-game model for Zero that's been ripped from the PS3 disc, the reason I just went through that whole thing to tell you about it is that while this isn't in a perfectly atomically correct model, I was having an issue with the back. I had the arms folded out at a 45-degree angle instead of this T-pose that you can currently see. And for the longest time, I was doing these sculpts in a 45-degree angle, and I wasn't doing the T-pose, but I like the T-pose. and I couldn't get the latimus dorsi correct. And I think I have the right brush, but this kind of the muscles right here. In this area, I couldn't get these muscles to look right. I kept having them way out here like this. I kept
I know
kept
that
having
one. That happened to me too. A lot.
I kept having this issue, even though I had studied the anatomy to know, yeah, this is the deltoid over here. You've got the teres major somewhere in here that kind of wraps around. It's less predominant on a female or someone with smaller muscles. You've got the trapezius there, and you got the latimus dorsi here. You got the gluteus maximus, all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't wrap my head around why something like this wasn't looking right. And then it finally came to me, oh, it needs to be more narrow. It needs to be more narrow. The muscles aren't necessarily even engaged in this T-pose. I'm trying to make it as if this character was flexing, and this character isn't flexing. The muscle itself isn't engaged. And it came as a eureka moment. So it's through repetition, looking at my model and looking at a real life reference and going, what is the difference here? Why is there this huge problem? And a lot of artists I know struggle with that one, because I've looked at a lot of bad references where they make it as if the latimus or the lats under the arm are huge and it looks like they're engaged, and they're simply not. So it's just, I don't have this complicated method. I work on it and work on it and work on it until I can see my problems, and then I fix them and I move on.
I'm just impressed at how you can keep your motivation in this strategy.
It is not easy. I will be 100%
Sure,
honest.
it's not easy.
It honestly, a lot of times I want to quit, and I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I'm done. But the reality is.
But I think most artists feel like that, don't they? I hear these stories often.
Oh yeah, it's so common that we just want to be done with it.
Sorry to go a bit off topic, but like we can just a quick story. It's sometimes also really frustrating to see how little appreciation we get for this job, don't you think? Because just the other day, like, okay, I should be careful what I say. Some people I know are actually looking at this. Let's find a different example then.
Well,
anyways,
I hope that artist that I met backstage isn't gonna watch this.
like if you dance, for example, or if you cook like really good, or if you what else could it be? Are just a good leader or a good talker, like a good speaker on stage in a school environment, for example, you'll get so much attention, and then it's actually just, you know, you need maybe a year to get good at it on that level. You could go way beyond it if you spend more time on it, but it's really not that much as in you know, hard work. But then we artists with 3D modeling in particular, nobody knows what 3D modeling is, where it's used. It seems so irrelevant to people. So they'll just be like, oh, you do 3D modeling, wow, that's cool. But then they will never come back to it because they just don't know how to speak with you about it.
It is a very specific field. Like, no matter what you do, it is a very specific field.
But then how are we supposed to keep our motivation, like our hopes about being famous with this, about this being the right thing, when people don't recognize us for doing this?
You know what? I will tell you when I've accomplished my fame. You, on the other hand, are almost at 40,000 subscribers. And include, you know, I would have not started 3D art unless I had your tutorial series, the second anime character tutorial series, to be honest. I would not be where I am probably unless I had the tutorial. So it means a lot to me. And it was crazy how we actually became friends and bonded in the time span that we have through about a year, and actually worked together. But I think that when it comes down to 3D, it's such a it is so demanding. It is you have to give yourself up and over to it. I know it sounds crazy,
you have
but
to give yourself up.
you have to sacrifice a lot of your time. in your life a way to get good at making models, or unless you're, I don't know, gifted in some God unknows ways, like you're a super musician. There are some people that can, perfectly hear a toned pitch and can pluck it out, Mozart
And
and that kind of thing.
yeah,
But I think for the majority of us, we just have to sacrifice a lot of our time. And because it's such an inclusive world, um, or it's such an exclusive world, rather, um, 3D art where people, they don't get into it and they don't understand the fullness that we're creating virtual realities. In a sense, we're creating virtual characters that have to, as time goes on, resemble more and more a real character or a real world, a real environment. And people don't really give it two thoughts, because there's so many hardworking individuals that, they do special effects in movies, or they do creature effects and this and that. And these movies come out every single other day, and there's hundreds and thousands and millions of people that work on these films that you see at the credit roll, and you never think twice, oh, that was someone. You think
right.
about the actors that were in the film. It's a bit of a thankless job in a way, unless you deviate from the standard procedure.
And that our like the salaries and wages aren't even that great.
Oh, not at all. No, it's pretty laughable considering how hard the job is. I actually know a guy who works at 2K Studios, where they make the WrestleMania games. I actually want to read a few of these comments in a minute. And he hated it. He absolutely hated it. He wanted to be an animator, and he's working on his demo almost every single night. And he worked for 2K, and he did not like it. He talked about the cool things they did, but that was not his dream. He was just happy to have a job at that point. And that's a lot of what the industry is, unfortunately.
But then on the other side, we all have our hopes, don't we?
Oh, yeah. But he found the perfect situation for him. I don't think that will be for everyone, but he found the perfect situation.
Oh, really?
He had a job where he was working in the industry where he wanted to work. He was getting paid. He was paying off his student loans, and he was working on the side to achieve his dream. He was in a good situation. So good for him, most certainly. Let's see. I'm going to read this one out for you real quick. Daniel, have you ever, Beyond Ellis Beck writes, Daniel, have you ever thought about holding a 3D class with your subscribers on a linked chat like Discord or Twitch? Nothing better than the hands-on advice from a professional.
Actually, you can get in touch with me. I did do some kind of coaching, private teaching before, as kind of a little side job, if you're really into that. But I always wonder how, like, I question my own qualification for that at the moment. If you think you can gain from like doing this together with me for a couple of hours, definitely send me a message and we can talk about it. But just keep in mind that I am myself just a student, so you can gain from whatever I can give you, but that's where it stops for me.
I'd like to just point out that Daniel's a full-time university student, and I know he doesn't talk about it a lot, but he's a full-time university student in a foreign country of Japan, Nippon, of which he is the elite.
What?
We won't go into that. He is of the elite class. We'll just say that. I don't know if you shared details with you.
To start bragging.
No. But what I'm saying is responsibilities are many. I haven't talked to Daniel since like 5 days ago, which is when we were working on something together. There's only one Daniel is what I'm saying. So if you don't get a reply back, it's not because he's lying on stream. It's probably because he's studying himself into an early death. That was just my point, is that he is very busy. I can
actually tell you quickly about my schedule. I wanted to mention it anyways. Basically, here at university, our exam week is coming up, and I have like 6 exams next week. And then on top of that, we have to fix one of our group projects today and kind of rewrite a couple of parts and send the report again. And then I have like 2 more assignment reports that I have to kind of submit by next week. And oh man, you I think you get the point. I mean, 6 exams in 1 week. That's just too much, in my opinion, but whatever.
Yeah, for the elite student.
I'm actually studying Korean now, even.
Jesus, man.
Like, on top of Japanese. But I don't think I will do Korean much more in depth. I just wanted to get an idea of the language and give myself the opportunity to pick it up later, because I'm kind of very interested in the people who live in Korea. There are many great artists, but that's a different story.
All right. I'm going to pick up a few of these comments, and then let's see, we're about an hour and 30 minutes in.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at the Skype call time. That was a prep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do a few comments, and then I have a few questions to ask about the sculpt that I think would be beneficial. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Okay, that was beyond Elizabeth. Azure Radiant 72. T-Pose Chan's ass is thick. Not thick, but thick. Okay. I agree. I'm actually gonna remodel the ass and make it look better, because I'm trying to look.
Make sure to look at lots of references, man.
I'm gonna have to. I'll do Zero, the reference character that you see up on screen, up on the right side, doesn't really have an ass like that. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of study what is popular right now with characters. This is
probably the most awkward side of being an artist, anyways.
I don't really think so, because I'm
not like from our perspective, but when you talk with other people and then they start thinking about what you have to study, and then they're just like, oh, okay, so does that mean? And then the conversation goes on.
Yeah, I've got a folder of files, and there's a lot of anatomy references. I can't believe I'm going to talk about this on your stream. There's a lot of anatomy references out there, people who just have average bodies. And sometimes you've got to go into the adult entertainment industry to see some really firm, well-done bodies that are nude. So I'm going to leave that there and say that. So it can get very embarrassing. I do have a folder. I have a separate folder for that, of looking at, like, okay, this is the desirable, and this is the average, you know.
But then at the same time, I just want to point this out to not get the wrong image out. Like, all humans have the same anatomy. So the idea is that you learn anatomy on maybe less attractive bodies, but ones that show you all these different aspects. Because what well, let's call them good-looking bodies tend to do is that they really have very soft shapes, and you have very hard times telling the details in them. But they will have the details in a very subtle way. And so it's often important to study with average bodies, various types of bodies, to get really an idea of all the muscles and bones and structures in there, so that you can then use it as subtle information on what you could call a more good-looking, more attractive character. But it's all important for it to study a lot.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad reference. It's just what you're looking to create, I would say. Moving on. Yeah, Discord, so I can bombard him with questions, writes Arista. Let's see. Blaze Osman writes, did you check my model? Crying face. I'm afraid neither of us can check your model because I only have one screen open.
Let me check. Sorry, I'm not looking, but if you send a link, then it wouldn't show up because I need to kind of approve it, but I'm not seeing any link in the chat, so how can I look at it?
Okay. Let me write something, or let me read something you previously wrote from Blaze Osmond. Can't speak. I apologize. I can't post the image of the model in chat, but you can check my account. It's the only post there I have on my Google Plus account.
He actually can send a link. can I ask you to just send a direct link to the picture? It won't show up in the stream, but I will get the link and I can look at it and actually confirm it so that everybody can take a look.
Let's see. Beyond Ellis Beck said, "You are definitely very good. Have confidence in your work." I don't know who that was for. Let's see. MD wrote, "Yep, I posted a..." I'm sorry, but I get this Southern vibe when I read MD's comments. I don't... Not an offensive, but yep. I posted a question for Daniel on Patreon like 4 weeks ago. He hasn't had the time to read it.
Seriously? I'm so sorry. Oh man. But I checked Patreon messages just the other day and I made sure that I answered all of them.
I would suggest resending it, MD. Excuse me. I definitely suggest resending it to Daniel. Si Hong Lee, hopefully I'm not butchering that, writes, "Jesus."
That was about my schedule, I think. That came up
when
I was talking about the schedule.
And then writes, I know that's supposed to be some kind of emoji, I just can't figure out what it is. Maybe it's like a man prostrating himself. I don't know. Jim's Inkspot, "I like the K-pop women." Let's see. Beyond Ellis Beck, "Koreans make the best MMORPG character models." ARA message retracted. MD writes, "Yes, K-pop. Black Desert has good-looking bodies." Hey, Lucy! Lucy, welcome back. "But the face is the best."
Oh, come on. Stop being mean to people. You can't do that.
What?
That's the person from last stream, right?
Yes, who I lovingly nicknamed Lucy.
Okay, I finally went out to look at the picture that Blaze Osman tried to send it, right? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's apparently a little project in Blender of a kind of diamond, maybe.
Mm.
And all I want to say is like, wonderful that you finally got started with Blender and 3D. Just stick around and work hard, and I really hope that you can also get really far in this industry. Because apparently the link sending didn't work again, so I kind of took a look quickly. Anyways.
You should know, Lucy, I've got a great memory.
Well, at least you have lots of attention.
Mm.
I mean, LIC or Lucy or whatever we're going to call him or her now.
If it really bothers you, I'll call you LIC if you want. Or Lick. I'll call you Lick if you want. I just, I thought it was endearing. I give people nicknames in my chat. Ryu can attest to that. At one point, I had my Ryu. Actually, I won't get into that. We're going to read through these last ones that are posted, and then we're going to start asking Daniel some important questions. Lick is worse. All right. Okay, where are we at? Daniel, as a student in Japan, how hard has it been to adapt to learn the customs of the locals? Story time.
Story time. I didn't struggle at all because I was well prepared when I came. I had researched a lot, and I kind of knew what was expecting me. But I mean, it is always, like, for almost any situation in life, good to approach things very humbly. Like, never think that you know everything, that you know it all. Always expect the opposite. Like, always expect that your grades will be really bad. Always expect that your that's a very negative way maybe to look at it. But if the
guy in the upper 90th percentile.
But if you expect that everything is kind of not like you don't know it yet, you don't know the right answer, you always will keep the open mindset that new things will surprise you, but then it's alright because you actually expected it to be that way anyways. And if it doesn't happen, well, good. then then you just were right from the beginning, or then it just went well from the beginning and you didn't even have to bother thinking about it. But I mean, while there are people who I can't get along with, there are many people that I can get along with here in Japan, and there is no right and wrong. Everybody is still here as a person, an individual, so it's just a normal place as in every other place in the country. I don't want to glorify a certain particular place too much. I think we can just be ourselves, and we still have the responsibility, just like in any other place, to respect each other, and that's no different for Japan. So it wasn't like entering a whole different universe.
Yes, it was, with all the Gundam. The Gundams and Godzillas exploding overhead. All right. Very funny. This stream in case, says ARA. Send it again, but the chat blocked it. Sad face. Says Blaze Osmond. I think that was the link to his character design. Did you already take a look at that?
You can too, but I looked at it already. It's basically a kind of a diamond render, and he follows it up later on with saying the model you saw was for class assignment for jewelry advertisement. My laptop is rendering the final version right now, so I'm watching the stream on my phone. Nice. So I was kind of commenting on that before, saying, yeah, good job.
Okay.
Hang in there.
Oh no. Professor Dan. I'm gonna ask you some questions on the sculpt, and then we'll get to these comments later, because a lot of them have been questions. Let's see, what can I ask that'll be beneficial? I'm actually gonna think on that real quick and use the facilities. I'll be right back.
Sure. So maybe I can cover some of these comments in the meantime. I want to show you guys something in the meantime. My university actually just posted a new video on their YouTube channel. It is sort of an advertisement. It kind of makes everything look a bit better than it is. But I will post this video in the description. In the comments. Just give me a second to find it. And it's kind of really beautiful. So I wanted to share it. It shows a lot about the little city that I live in. It shows pictures of the university. As I mentioned before, the university is located on the top of a mountain. So you have a great view on the sea, and basically you look at the entire city from the top, and they have a lot about our extracurricular activities and stuff. So I just found a link, and I will put it into the chat here. If you're interested, take a look.
I'm back.
Hey.
All right. How you feeling on time, Daniel?
Are you tired?
No, not at all. I'm just curious.
I'm still really, really good, actually.
Okay, good. I'm gonna read some comments, or was I interrupting?
No, not at all. I just talked a little bit about my university and shared a video. It's really beautiful, this video.
I'll have to check it out later.
Hmm.
Or do you guys want me to watch it on stream? I'll let you guys decide.
Yeah, let them decide. I don't mind. It's basically connecting to the story about my life here at university in Japan. It sums up very well. Let's just watch it. It's just 2 minutes.
Okay.
And does it come on my side? I don't think we'll have audio, but doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah, I'll just watch it now. Do.
Yeah, and we'll just be in silence, or maybe not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna narrate.
It's probably better if we keep talking.
This
otherwise.
is where the fireworks are. This is where you want to be. Have you ever been to a hot spring? It's not just in the Japanese anime and manga. Look at these dreadlocked physics. Look at the renders of these people dancing with these clothes.
What are they bending?
These trees.
But it's actually really a beautiful place. I mean, this video obviously glorifies it a bit, as in taking only the sunset scenes and like beautiful spring, beautiful winter and everything.
Yeah, you
But
guys actually have a lot of air pollution there.
I wonder if it's that
No,
bad.
you do.
Do we?
It's bad. That's not good. I mean, from where I'm from, that's a good amount. I mean, that's nothing too bad, but that's surprising.
But I'm pretty sure it must be from like carried with the wind from a
Yeah.
different place, because we really have lots of nature here and there's not too much as an industry.
Man, they are really trying to meet their diversity quota.
Yeah, we have almost 90 different countries. 50% of the university is international students and 50% Japanese-based students. And of the internationals, we represent 80 countries pretty much.
Interesting.
And so sometimes you get the feeling that you actually don't live in Japan, because we live on the mountain. I go downtown maybe once every 2 weeks. And so I'll be in this super international environment for 2 weeks and then go to Japan for a little trip to the grocery store. But
This is your time. This is your chance to study.
okay, quick side story for Japan that was.
Yes,
Hey, look at the
indeed.
recommended videos.
Yes, indeed.
That's
Okay.
us. That's us, man. We're famous.
We made it.
Okay. Anyways,
I almost broke to talking about something. I was about to break into a voice, but decided not to.
and just to give some additional information, I'm so doing advertisement for them. I shouldn't maybe, but I really like it. They give many scholarships away. Almost all the international students get scholarships that reduce the tuition for them. And they're like on top of the reduction scholarships, there are like opinions for further scholarships that will actually give you money every month. So if you go there and you are a good student who really does good with their grades, you actually gain a lot from it. Like it's very affordable. You get many opportunities. You can try all these things. Just saying it so that people who live abroad, I want to just let people know that there is this opportunity to go abroad and that there are many offers. Just search for them and have the courage to leave your country. You'll gain a lot from it.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna catch up on these comments because I feel bad for chat.
Chat is sad.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Ryu or Ray Akuma Arts writes, "Lol, ooh, scolded. That's what I was calling Lucy. MD writes, "Lol, first it was Lucy last week, and now I'm Southern this week. Smiley winky face." Yes, indeed. I just hope you don't grab me by my waist, bring me really close, and then smell my hair, MD. All right. Lucy writes, "Damn, he still remembers." Alias Null writes, "Guess you're stuck with it forever now, Lucy." Lucy. Lick is worse, XD.
Lick is actually worse, yeah.
Yeah,
Loose is better, I feel.
indeed. Blaze Osmond, the model you saw was... Okay, yeah, I already read that one. You read that one. MD, my question was regarding hair rig on Sarah. I tried to copy the hair rig, but it was moving very slowly. Hair falling down like 120 frames instead of yours, which is 5 to 10
I
frames.
think I did some scaling with the time there, or gravity to account for that. On the other hand, I have to say that I think, if I'm not wrong, Blender added new features that allow... Is that true? I'm not sure. I think they added features that allow for simulations of bones. So I might be wrong, but you can try to look it up, because if that's true, then basically my tutorial is irrelevant by now because the technique is outdated. Because my technique is a workaround for what they might have introduced just now.
Are you serious? Because I just started that tutorial series 2 days ago.
We should be happy about technical improvements. I am the one to be sad because my video is irrelevant.
I'm the one to be sad because I've wasted time. All right, I guess it's not wasting time, but efficiency and
but I might be wrong still, so you should make sure to look it up if there is really a simulation now for bones.
All right, well, we're gonna read these comments. All right. Professor Dan writes Jim's ink spot. Question posted on Patreon was on the level 10 Sarah comment. I think that's already been addressed. Lucy writes, eat ramen and sushi. You will blend into Japanese culture in no time. Yes, buy Gundam. It's a Gundam. Free ads incoming, writes Lucy. Yes, indeed. I couldn't agree more. And Daniel nervously laughs because, yes, I think they paid him extra to plug that one in.
You never know.
You did say that people from your university were watching. It didn't have to be the student.
You know what's crazy, actually? This video was actually probably even produced by this. No, I know it is produced by the students. Everything runs by the students, but I'm not sure even if they were paid that well for it. I think there is this as a student job. This person who does media for the university. So I think they received a little bit, but a lot of it is still based on just the passion and the motivation of the students. Anyways,
interesting.
Let's not get too much back on that topic.
Yeah, you've already plugged them once.
People will get bored, yeah.
They're only going to pay you so much, so why plug them more than once, right? I'm just playing. Good for you. Such a beautiful uni. That is a beautiful uni. Blaze Usman, question. How, as a 3D modeler or artist, do you start your models? How do you bring to life an idea into animation or just a rendered picture?
Sorry, my thoughts were somewhere different for a second. Can I quickly talk about something a little bit different? I was quickly looking at the comment that I got on Patreon. And it's kind of similar to what we talked before, but I will quickly read it. Daniel, when you have time, would you look at my own hair rig? I copied the same settings as yours. I tried to render it at 60 frames and it didn't work out when creating the video. So I rendered at 24 frames, although each PNG was rendered at 60 frames. Do you think I should have increased the mass in the hair, rigid body, to make it quicker? In real life, the ponytail points straight out during the spin. So on the video that was posted below it, you see character rotating and the hair is kind of floating, not really moving properly in the background. And I quickly want to tell you, because the person who wrote that comment is here, I think, that I suspect that you have some issues with the cache, that you might want to, jump to the first frame, select the rig, select the objects, quickly go into edit mode and exit edit mode again, go to the physics settings and clear the cache, and set the step count for the cache to 1 if it isn't. That might be another issue, because otherwise it will record the physics a bit rough in steps basically. And then for speed, if you have speed issues, there should be a time setting somewhere in the simulation for the physics where you can speed things up. You can also increase gravity, but increasing mass will not help you much, because heavier things don't fall faster. The reason they do sometimes on Earth is because of friction with air, and the heavy objects are harder to be stopped by air friction basically. So if you want to get things move faster, you'll have to do it by artificially increasing physics or by speeding it up with the time value. I hope some of these will help you with your project. Okay. We can move on.
Okay. I feel bad because you're like, can I talk about this one?
Can I quickly mention it?
I just don't want anyone to get left out, you know? In terms of chat. Because you seem to do that a lot, Daniel. With your infinite amount of times ignoring your fans. Not like life, right? I'm being sarcastic for the non-English speakers. I'm being sarcastic with him. He never ignores his fans. I was one of his fans, and then we became friends. Let's see. They should give you a scholarship for free for advertisement for them. I agree completely. MD writes, and Daniel going to have a Japanese GF kawaii. Sorry, that's kawaii. My bad. Not scary. Jinx Inspot. Beautiful location. Jealous. Yes, indeed. Got to give credit to your uni. It is great video. It is a great video. Beyond Ellie's Beck. Your own opinion between sculptress and animation. Which do you feel takes the most amount of time to do? I think that was supposed to be in your own opinion, not I.
What
typo.
takes more time? Sculpting and animation?
Sculpting and animation.
To
which
learn or
defaults
to do, or
to do, I believe.
doesn't it depend? Like, if you want to animate a movie, it will obviously take longer than modeling a character.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's no real way of saying one. There's no way to distinguish between them. It depends on the size of the project
And how good the quality has to be. But making a character high quality can definitely take a month.
A month? My God.
Like, if you really want to make it high quality. But then on the other side of the spectrum, like, if you don't mind too much. No, like, even professionally, they'll work so much on it. But on the other hand, if it's a side character that nobody really cares about anyways, and you don't have much budget for it, they should be able to reuse old assets and get a quick character done within a day or two.
A lot of the head artists.
But that's just the modeling. That's not. Oh, sorry. With the month, I was talking about everything with sculpting and texturing, and not so important character might take a couple of days, 4, 5, 6 days, 5 days maybe, a week. So basically.
Interesting.
So animation, just compare it with that maybe.
Lucy writes, I was studying in my local college now, though. Jim's ink spot. Oh my God, there's so many comments. Are the instructors as varied as the students?
Yeah, the instructors are also 50-50, or supposed to be, I think. I don't know. I don't want to say that this is the best place. Sorry to, again, go back to it. But you will have to make your decision. I don't... For example, it's not really a university covering my field of interest. For me, it's a business school, the thing that I'm enrolled in. But I still decided to go for it because this is the best way for me to get into the language and the whole system and the customs of Japan. Like, no other place would have offered me this, including like learning a job. Like, imagine you're just going to language school and then you're finally done, you can speak the language perfectly, but then what? Like, if you mess up your hobbies and you have no profession, basically, you pretty much have no future in Japan anyway. So you need a combination of language and a profession. So this gives me a plan B for a profession, and it gives me the language skills that I need to stay here. It was just the most realistic and most assuring way for me to stay in Japan in the future.
Indeed. MD, scary, because we're both in LA, but I don't play on that team. I don't understand the context on that one. Do you, Daniel?
I didn't get that at all. Maybe it was commenting on somebody else. What's the story? Or maybe some
Yays.
people know each other.
Oh, I see. Yays writes, "Hey, smiley face."
Hi.
MD writes, "That was my comment."
Oh yeah, the one that I covered from Patreon.
Gotcha.
I'm glad we got that covered.
Indeed. Joe Burner, how often do you rely on Dynamesh, if at all? I find it was useful up to a point, especially if I'm working on full-bodied models.
Yeah, so I like using it a lot for a long time, but at some point it is better when you topologize it, and that is because you'll have more details around the eyes, for example, and less details around the cheeks, and so you want to introduce a topology that focuses more density around the eyes and more density around noses and mouths, so that you don't waste your performance too much. And only that will really allow you to then go in and do the finest details, and also you enable yourself to use some features like the levels of division to go back and then change the shape of the face without losing the details of the wrinkles that you model. So at some point when you're happy with the overall shape, it's a good idea to go and retopologize it and then go back and project the geometry onto each other and then continue from there.
All right. Guys, what software do you recommend for animations after modeling?
Do you have any?
Man, it is a mixed bag of variety. Industry standard is Maya. I know.
I was gonna say, I can tell you what the industry recommends you.
Hold on 1 second.
Did you leave or something? Okay. Apparently, yes. So, I'm not an animator, so I really can't say too much about it, but I can only say that the industry keeps wanting their employees to learn Maya.
I'm back.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just,
Were you going to say something before? I just filled the time because I didn't realize at first that you were actually going somewhere.
Yeah, no, I had to check on something from my landlords. Let's see. There's Blender. Blender has a similar animation function. Very sketchy when I say similar. It's different, but it's kind of along the same basic operating parameters as Maya, so that's a nice place to start in terms of animation. There's Poser, which I've used before in the past. There's let's see, there's Maya, Blender, Poser.
But I'm not sure if Maya is actually really good from what I have seen a little bit of the features. It has some features that are very superior to Blender, for example.
Certainly.
As in editing the whole path, visualizing the whole path, but again, I haven't used it yet, so.
Maya is very expensive though.
Ah, true. So
when you're
learn it while you're a student, because when you're a student enrolled in university, you can use it for free.
Certainly. Because you're talking a $90 subscription fee for the light version of Maya that doesn't include animation.
Maybe you should just enroll to university so that you can study Maya for free.
Yeah, just get a one-time student. Get one class in college or something like it at a JC, and then prove that you're.
You still have to pay for university tuition. But if it's good to combine it, not to waste your time too much. Can I ask you something in between? Why did you decide to make your user interface pink? I think many people are questioning that.
Because it's pretty. And I like pretty things.
But I mean, usability-wise, readability is I I can barely read some of the labels.
Yeah, I haven't really fixed the settings. I need to fix them and make it better. It's not as bad as it looks on my screen. Trust me, because it's pixelated. Because I'm sending it over to you, I must really look bad on the stream, but it works. I just didn't like the gray and the yellow. It's like how about some pink and a little bit of violet colors over here, and some purple. I like it. It's pretty. I like pretty things, damn it.
I see, okay.
I can't help it. I've got a condition. All right.
I feel like making so little progress here. But I'm actually constantly working. Did it change at all?
Yeah, yeah, dude, yours has changed quite a lot.
Actually, I have the stream open on a different computer. I can go way back and look at it.
I think I might actually do that real quick. From the not as much as I thought. Like the facial features don't look that much different. There's more expression on the lips and the eyes, but no, I don't know.
Well, that's okay. I'll work on it.
Let's see. Clear the cache many times, but I never enter edit mode first, and it was first step, not there. Not more. Okay. Azure, you can always use After Effects. After Effects, yes. That is another one you can animate in. Jim's Ink Spot. Where is your game you were developing at? Ooh, story time again.
Which game?
I think he's talking about the one that we started working on.
Oh, sure. Let's talk about it.
Or Jim's Ink Spot. Clarify me real quick. Are you talking about the game that Daniel and I were working on that we were mentioning last time, or just clarify for us real quick? Blender is free, says MD. Yes. I am me, I am free. Blender is free. Yes, indeed. I'm waiting for Jim's Ink Spot to give me a reply. I'll read a different comment. Oh my god, Drakengard 3. Yes, indeed, Lloyd Keim. Honestly, I think Drakengard 1, with Keim as the main character, has to be the best Drakengard out of them all. I have two. I went to the game store, and they sold me Drakengard 2, and they thought it was number 1 for like $2. Yeah, no, the people at the store were really dumb, and they didn't recognize that the 2 for Drakengard 2 was like bigger than the word Drakengard itself and in the background. And like, here you go, Drakengard 1. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm finally going to be able to play this game. I know that the 5th ending to this game leads into Nier. And Nier is one of the best games ever made by Yoko Taro. He's a fucking god. Pardon the French on that. I got excited. And I go to put it in the PS2 because it's a PS2 game.
Disappointment.
And I'm like, there's a second Drakengard? What? And this began my epic quest to find Drakengard 1. But the reality is they sold me Drakengard 2 at Drakengard 1's price, which it was a brand new copy of Drakengard 2 for like, I think it would have been $50. So they gave me a good deal, even though they didn't realize it. Anyway, getting back to it. Drakengard 1 was the best, probably. Agreed. Not just language, but other professional skills. That's going back to, I believe, talking about university. The comment on the same team was because you said, "Don't grab my waist and pull me in and smell your hair." Yes, that was a story from earlier. Well, on the same team. Yep. That actually happened in a club. We're not going to say what kind of club it was. It wasn't a gay club. It was a very interesting club that shut down very shortly afterwards. It was a very dangerous part of the city I was in. as well. Okay, moving on. God, that I couldn't. I don't know if you've ever been in that kind of situation when one of your heroes starts hitting on you.
No, I haven't been in that situation.
Yeah, we actually share the same birthday, not the same year, but the same birthday, which is even more awkward. Yeah.
I'm actually modeling now using your reference a little bit.
Oh no.
Trying to learn from it.
I was wondering why the face went suddenly more feminine. It was more masculine before, the eyes especially.
Well, I'm trying to make it feminine, but I've kind of kept failing at that a little bit. So I was like, okay, let's use your reference.
Your jaw's too low.
Is it?
Yeah, for a female. If you turn it to the side.
Thanks for mentioning that. I also feel like I'll try to fix that. And this is where the move brush comes in handy.
Zero has very small lips.
Yeah, the lips are very different in my sculpt, but I will try to adjust it a little bit to her style.
I'm just saying in general from the reference images, Zero has very small lips considering like she has very wide eyes, unusually wide eyes. They're far proportioned. Her face is very round. It's incredibly round, and she has European features, and she's got small lips. But it's a very beautiful and pretty character, which is totally, it just throws off everything you know. It had to be a great artist that pulled off these different facial feature traits that in real life aren't the most appealing.
Well, they work together in harmony.
Oh yeah, it works, which is, the team at Access Games, even though they had no money, they did a great job. Okay, moving on.
They had no money?
Access Games? Oh no, they gave Yoko Taro no money for developing that game. They have very little money.
Amazing.
Like the opening cutscene, it's so amazing, and you're like, oh my god, this is the beginning of the game. This game's gonna be absolutely amazing. And then you start the game and you see the character models, and you're like, what? This isn't, because I didn't. I was such a Drakengard fan. I started in 2010 with Nier. Which is a sequel to one of the endings to Drakengard 1. And I'm like, I need this in my life. I need to go back and see what Drakengard 1 was about. So I did, and I got Drakengard. I did. I needed it in my life because it was so good if you've ever played Nier. Actually, there's two different versions of the game, Nier Replicant and Nier Gestalt, but that's a different story. Anyway, I made... Yes, indeed. The Japanese do like their German. I think it has to go with the whole World War II alliance thing going on way back in the day. Anyway, I finally got my hands on Drakengard 3. I had it was last year actually that I got my hands on Drakengard. It was last year that I got my hands on Drakengard 3. I had seen one trailer for it, and the rest, no, media blackout. I knew nothing about the game. I see the opening cinematic. I'm like, this is going to be the best game ever. Why aren't people talking about this? And then I get to the gameplay, and I'm like, what?
Let's see.
But, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying they had a very limited budget. Some of the textures are horrible in that game, and the gameplay is very repetitive, but it's got heart. It's a great game. The more I think about the game, the more fond memories I have, but I'm actually replaying it right now. And that brings the story to a close, because that is a long story. I'm going to get through some of these comments real quick, because there's a lot of questions tonight. One of the Rex Kanat writes, one of the Blender advantages on animating is that it lets you tag your keyframes as extremes, contacts, or breakdowns, etc. Yes, Blender is known for its versatility in terms of what it can do. There's a lot of options on it, and it's free. I can't stress that enough because there's a large paywall to get into this kind of stuff, at least people think, but it's not actually there.
But then compared to being a race driver.
A what?
Like, I just came up with a random example.
Like a race car driver?
Race car driver.
Okay, because you said a race driver.
Sorry, I just make up words if I don't know them, so.
No worries. And I'm just like, well, the thing about race cars, man, is it's all about the sponsorships.
Yeah, but at first nobody will sponsor you, I believe.
That is true. You got to be likable, charismatic. I bet you could do it. Thanks, guys. That then seems like Blender is a beginner's pick. It is complicated. Blender is definitely complicated, but it's free, and it is a very good place to start from. I'm actually going to model Zero's hair. Why are you doing this to me, ZBrush? Mine just... Oh, no, it just froze up on me. Okay, here we go. We're good.
The good thing is they do quick saves. Usually you're fine.
What? Oh, no. Did you... No.
Just start it again and look at the light box and go to the the autosave section. You'll probably have it back.
Oh, I'm not worried about losing anything. I just hate when it does that.
Okay.
It just makes me... It breaks my heart. It's like seeing the budget of Drakengard 3. It breaks my heart. The Daniel Gender Bender nurse thing? Question mark? Oh my god! It wasn't a gender bender.
Wow, that kind of escalated quickly.
Yeah. That was it was never a gender bender. I just took our personalities and modeled them.
You're responsible for this.
I'm responsible for anything except having hair that smells like roses.
No, it's a great project though, regardless of how it was made.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So I'm gonna read 3 more comments and then we'll talk about that. How about that?
Sure.
I feel bad because you're like, can I talk on my stream?
I'm so focused on my sculpt anyway. It's like I enjoy it so much, but then I forget looking at like the comments, and I just keep making these low effort replies. You have to drag me out of this trance sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Are you okay? Good ZBrush. Don't break on me again. 3 more. Okay. Jim's ink spot. He posted it on YouTube running around a maze of a building. Okay, he's talking about, I think, Jim ink spot. You're talking
the core project. I see.
Yeah. But I don't know. MD hasn't replied, so I don't know what he was talking about. In terms of, was it MD? Let me go back. No, it was Jim's. Okay, yeah, no, it was Jim who was asking about that. It was Jim's ink spot. He's talking about Project Core. Do you want to talk about that?
I don't have much to say. I mean, it was a demo. It was my graduation project. I graduated. I still think the character design and everything has potential, but like, I don't want to get stuck with the project too much. I want to keep improving. So, for now, I'm leaving that kind of in the background, and maybe it will be dug up again. But I think A.BC, our other project, has more potential for being a fun, enjoyable game. So if I work on something, I'll be working on that.
Wonderful. My entire screen just died. Okay, I'm back. Am I still? You still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You're still...
My entire screen just went black. My
Really?
screen just... Yeah, my entire screen just disconnected. It might have just been a technical issue with my tablet. Cupcake. They sold you to. They sold you to who?
Who sold whom?
I don't know. Okay, he's talking about us both. They sold us. I don't...
Who is they?
And how much did we sell for?
We better be expensive.
Indeed. All right, last question, and then we'll change the pace up a bit. Blender's, this is from Ray Akuma Arts. Blender's not necessarily for beginners. It's more of a jack of all trades, master of none. It does a lot really well.
Master of none. Too sad.
That is That is true. No, Blender is really good. It's not specialized for anything. It's a general use program that has a wide array of applications and properties.
But still, while it's true that it's not the master at anything, it is still professional at almost everything, which doesn't mean that you're a master, but like saying that it's not like equal to saying it's not good at anything. It's very good at almost everything, but it's just not the best out there at anything.
It's like
really.
it's like the bronze spot in almost every
But to be honest, as for polygon modeling, I feel like Blender might be the best. I have never felt as comfortable or as quick in any other tool. The way how you can just press R, G, or S for scaling, and just like the translation of objects, it's just very, very, very quick and intuitive, in my opinion.
I could not agree more. I always go into Blender for poly modeling. How are you feeling on time?
Oh my god, 2 hours. Man,
yeah.
Maybe I just don't want to quit because then I have to go studying.
Okay.
Then...
Hey man.
No, you're right. We're keeping already going for quite a long time. We shouldn't continue forever.
Yeah. How long's the stream been up?
1 hour and 55 minutes. 56 actually.
Well, let's go for another 10 minutes, and then we'll question the morality of you not working on your final exams.
Okay.
I'm just going to work on the head right now, get the details I want, geometry. We're going to delete. I probably shouldn't have done that. That's fine, who cares? Modify topology, delete head, and boom.
I just noticed, but I feel like your screen is stuck. Yeah. Maybe you want to disable screen share and enable it once again on Skype.
Okay. They're gonna see your cute face again.
Do they? I loved how in last week somebody actually went through the video to find that picture and posted it in the comments.
Yeah. I don't remember if I actually replied to that, but I was going to write something about that. Okay, there we go. It's unfrozen again.
Yes. I was actually planning to go on a trip even today, but I actually ended up canceling that.
You're so close. I mean, I shouldn't lecture you on your studies. I was usually the top of my class, but I was in a different kind of institution, so.
Hey, I do get good grades. What is this all about?
Well, no. I'm just saying, the final push of the semester, I'm sure you've probably got studying crammed and lined up even after your finals are over.
That's fine, really. Like, I'm not, like, what should I say? Driving myself too hard, but I get it always done somehow. Good enough. So, I don't know about this face anymore.
I think it's good. I think the nose is saying something funny to me.
Maybe the nose is too small.
It's at such an interesting level of male or female. It's like
yes,
it hasn't.
I know. I can't get it. I don't know which part is the not so feminine part.
I would say it's the width of your nostrils.
Oh, now that you're pointing it out, it is a very wide nose.
And the bridge could be.
Yeah. No, because I was starting quite realistic, and then I kind of pushed all the proportions into something more stylized. No, but you're right about that. Maybe the nose is...
It's at the tip that's a little bulbous. I think that's
Well,
the
it's
real
supposed
selling
to
point.
be. But maybe not for this sort of character.
I can't see your reference images, so I mean I've got mine posted up, but indeed. Let's see. Cupcake says, I would have wanted that for free. I don't know what that's about. Ray Akuma agreed, says Blaze Osmond. MD says, love the story time. Wonderful. Cupcake writes, Japan's fetishism of Nazis can be quite disturbing. Yes, indeed. Blaze Osmond, so what kind of what kind of engine do you use for rendering?
I don't render anything yet.
I use Blender, Poser, and ZBrush. Cupcake writes, Drakengard 2 I was referring to. Let's see. Beyond Ellis Beck writes, when Daniel makes his anime type hair, it is hard to place the movement points within them for bringing the hair to life. Question mark?
Is that like it's hard to control the hair, or?
I'll read that again. When Daniel makes his anime hair type, it is hard to place the movement points within them for bringing the hair to life. Question mark.
Sorry, I'm not a native. I can't really understand that question.
I can't understand it myself. I think it's just
But I think it's talking about like controlling the hair as in animation points. But
it still needs more context, I'm afraid, because I mean I understand it, but it's a little vague.
Let's see, maybe there will be a follow-up.
Okay, what do we got? That'll do.
Wow, that character has a really thin chin, actually. Like,
yeah.
Very, very thin.
You talking about Zero?
Yeah.
She's got a thin chin, but... Man, I love the character. Not in a romantic sense. Like, I'm not in that whole waifuism thing, but I like the character a lot.
I really like the choice of colors.
Yeah. Who would think that pink eyes would work, you know?
Is that pink?
Yeah, the eyes are pink.
Oh, cool. It goes well with the skin colors and the silver and white scheme. And I'm impressed with the hair, like how they made it look so good.
I know. I was trying to do it in Blender, or not Blender. I was trying to do it here, but I don't like it. I don't like. In all, I was watching this one tutorial. I'm not gonna name any names. I was basically on the fiber mesh of ZBrush. This person brings up this reference, and they got this great looking model, and they start making the hair, and they're doing all these really crazy things, and it looks really good. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they're actually playing this really inspirational music while they're modeling. So I'm like, this is the best. And I'm getting really excited. And then I watch to the end and it looks horrible. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, okay, I think that fiber mesh is still in its infancy. So I'm gonna continue forward and not use this feature, because I tried it out for like 6+ hours, and I started to get the hang of it and achieving results that look like the people giving the tutorials, but I still couldn't get it to the point I wanted to, and it just felt like a lot of the features were left out. So I'm gonna try Blender because it's more similar to Maya. All right, I'm gonna read some comments. Talisman Skulls writes, this is great work. I wish I could model like this, D. Let's see. James Inkspot, go study, exclamation point. Wow, time flew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
I wasn't told that in a long time since I left home, basically. Go study.
Is Daniel as cute as they say? Cupcake asks. I'll answer this one. Yes. By the way, Eternal, did you get my last message on your YouTube? I don't know how messages really work here. I did not get your message. I sent you one. I was waiting for you to contact me. I never got a message from you, and I don't know if you received mine. I don't think you did. You can contact me through, if you go to my blog spot, you can contact me there. Or here, I'll just type this one right here. Hello, world. That's my current. I switched this one over. I converted this account so people could ask me questions if they needed to. Easier than emailing me. My business email. Okay, moving. Jim's Inkspot message removed. Jim's Inkspot message removed. Welcome back, Iris. I believe it was Iris who went in and highlighted the time that we could see Daniel's face in the last video, if I'm not mistaken. Ray Akuma Arts. Yeah, that's something I've been learning the hard way, sadly, which is to learn real anatomy first, or at least don't avoid it.
Hey, I'm kind of getting happy with the chin now.
Yeah, the chin's good.
Mouth, nose kind of area. Like, the top needs lots of work still, but I think it's really funny how this face ends up looking completely different every week. Every week when I'm starting to work on this, probably I'll want to do something different, and then I'll kind of push it into different directions every time, which is nice.
Are you going for a male or female right now?
Oh, come on. Please don't ask me that question. Yes, it's supposed to be a female character.
Okay.
But now I know that it doesn't look like that, so I have to work a lot on it.
Let me look at it again.
You don't have to be nice. I got the message. It's probably true.
I mean, does mine even look like a female character? Not really.
You know how many people on YouTube or generally like on the internet like post this comment, this character looks like an alien, and how much this hurts the artists, but they keep posting that. I received this looks like an alien comments a couple of times.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I've triggered Daniel. Well, I mean, because this is such a weird character. Zero is such a weird character. I don't think the sculpt's gonna look right until it's got the hair on it.
That's true.
It's one of those things that it's never gonna look right until it's all put together, because the features inherently don't necessarily match, but they work together regardless. And that's why the artist who made it is amazing. I know Kimihiko did the original designs, but whoever did he did the concepts, but whoever did what we're seeing in the pre-rendered cutscenes, I would like to know who they were, because they were amazing. Really amazing. They inspire me greatly.
Kind of reminds me of what Square Enix does.
Yeah. I like the Square Enix pre-rendered cutscenes as well.
Right.
Okay, beyond...
Sure, go ahead. Let's just finish the comments then.
Yeah, I was going to say we're getting kind of up there in time. You should go study. I'm joking.
I'll have breakfast first, maybe.
That would be a good idea. It's, what, 11 a.m. right now?
Yes. The correct time for eating breakfast, of course.
Beyond... Oh, there's a lot of comments. Why are people removing their messages? Okay.
Hey, guys, I can just throw something out there quickly. If you guys keep posting comments, we can't leave the live stream, you know? So let's see how long they want to see us.
You really don't want to go study, do you?
We'll leave as soon as we reach the bottom of the chat. We'll eventually get there.
I've come up with a new recipe. We'll do it. We'll do it.
And I get to sculpt longer. That's wonderful.
I'm worried for your exams, my friend.
No, that's alright. My exams are really fine.
Oh, dear God, man.
I don't need that much time studying. Sorry, I interrupt you again.
No, it's your stream, but I'm saying last week, I was like, no, Daniel, let's do it longer, forgetting that you're a university student. And then I thought about it, I'm like, wow, man, I was really insensitive. I wasn't even thinking about Daniel, that he has to study for his university, you know, that we haven't even talked. for many, many months because he's been super busy. And, that doing the live stream actually has some time for us to interact and talk about, collate different plans that we're going to work on stuff together. Hopefully the ADAT-BC, A Day at the Batting Cages, if you guys aren't familiar with the VR game that we've been working on or worked on in the past, and continue to hone our skills so we can work on it in the future. But I felt bad because I was like, I didn't even consider that Daniel would have a schedule that would be more difficult to deal with. And here I am explaining it in chat over and over again. He's a student. He's a this and that, and I'm really explaining it to myself because
Thanks
I
for being
feel
so
bad.
considerate.
No, because I'm like, yeah, no, let's stay for another hour. Why do we have to end this last stream? But now I'm like, no, Daniel, go study. Go to your room. Go study. All right, continuing forward. Beyond Ellis Beck wrote the animation movement points for the hair. I think he was talking about rigging that. Okay. Cupcake Tyrant. He's not into waifuism thing. Yes, indeed.
Waifuism is a good word.
Neither of us is into waifuism.
No, I'm just what is it? Into design. I see this art a lot. I like stories. I like good stories. That's my thing.
Cupcake Tyrant asks, what are you into? 3D people? I don't know who that's aimed at. Is it for you or me? Because I was the one who's talking about waifu.
Yeah, I think it's aimed for you.
Okay. I never know. This is your stream, believe it or not. No, I'm married to my work. I'm completely married to my work. I don't have time for relationships, so I do a lot of other kind of extracurricular work, shall we say. And I'm married to it, so I don't really have time for real relationships or stuff like that. I'm not really into the waifuism or 2D is good enough for me mentality. I'm just I like making characters for the sake of making them, not for the sake of like fan service for myself. Lucy writes, or did you want to compliment or comment on that one, Daniel?
I agree with you pretty much. I'm on the same page.
Lucy, I don't like the ideas of waifus too. It's like wasting your dedication on something that doesn't exist. Indeed.
Well, I mean, like, I want to say one thing. I don't disrespect people for something like that.
I don't disrespect your waifu.
No, but seriously, I mean, like, everybody has their own interests and whatever. It's alright that way. Like, I wouldn't ever think about looking down upon people who are into these kind of things. So, just wanted to quickly clarify that.
Wow. Indeed. Can't believe chat didn't point out that the corner of the eye here was too low. You guys got to help me. The corner is too low for 0. It's got to be more shapely. You guys got to call me out on that stuff. Like I call Daniel out on his nose.
I kind of want to. Yeah, definitely. I kind of want to share some drawings next time. Maybe I'll prepare some, because I'm doing quite many drawings of like the different anatomies that I study before sculpting them. I think there's some learning value in it, so I'll try to bring them with me next time.
That'd be wonderful. Let's catch into some of these comments. Lucy says, no offense, by the way. No, none taken. Gonna go get some sleep. I'll leave the laptop to render overnight. Great stream, by the way. Thank you, Blaze Osmond.
Thanks.
What references are you using, Daniel?
Right. I can't really show it because it's on a different computer, but it's basically a book where they have like lots of faces in it, lots of different faces, and so I just pick a random face, and it will have like the view from the front and the side. Okay, by the way, here's a really good another book that I want to recommend. It has lots of great references. Look for a book called Anatomy of Facial Expression, and this one will have it will be one of the best references for for face modeling. Yes.
Books. Who needs books?
Well,
Says
you
the
can
author.
get it as a PDF, but
I was making a joke because I'm an author.
oh, sorry.
Thanks for killing my joke.
I killed it. I totally killed it there. Anyways, yeah, it's a good book, and there's lots of reference in there, and I like using those kind of things. It's basically though just pictures of humans from front and side views and in different expressions, and yes.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh man, there's a lot of comments. Yep, that was me, says Wishing Iris. She's the one who linked the timestamp of when your face was accessible on the screen.
Lovely.
He's making a sexual character. Winky smiley face, says MD.
I really gotta study some proportions and stuff.
Yeah. Indeed. Maybe you really need...
I don't know what it is. That's so hard. It's so hard. I need the eyes, maybe. Maybe the eyes and the hairs are the missing features.
What exactly are you trying to do?
Well, to make people recognize her as a female character, first of all.
You know the thing that's between the nose and the lips, where it's got the two ridges? That looks a little pronounced.
Okay, I'll work on that.
I mean, if it was sharper, I feel it would say...
I agree with you. Or what do you mean? It should be softer, or should be...
I think it should be smaller and a little bit sharper. And that forehead, like the right above the nose, or where the nose, there's kind of a... Here, I'll show what I mean on my character.
This part?
No, this part right here.
Isn't this... I actually think I know what this is called in anatomical terms.
This part feels on your sculpt.
Damn it. No, I got it wrong. I kind of quickly looked it up. But then it turned out to be a wrong one. Okay, never mind.
If you see anything wrong with my sculpt, you let me know. I think it's too round, to be honest. I think this is far too round.
Well, I would prefer to do like a draw over to tell you my points, but I can definitely point out a lot.
Yeah?
Well, just my opinion at least, and where I feel it should be pushed into a different direction.
Let's hear it.
Well, which part should I start about?
Any part. I'm just curious, because you can see the references. Actually,
well, around the mouth, for example, I really feel like your mouth is missing quite some anatomy there. As in,
you're right. It's kind of flat. It's got
like the corners need a bit more depth to them, a bit more of the muscle that goes around them, like here. Kind of exaggerating it now.
Yeah.
On my side, we'll see it in a second.
I Dynamesh the thing. I forgot.
And
thing was, it was a working mouth before. Now it's not.
I see. Well, it's hard to point out too much. It would be fun to swap the files midway and then to just see where like you would take my sculpt and where I would take your sculpt if we just
want to do that.
Well, maybe not today, but maybe we should do that next time.
Okay, that could be fun.
It sounds very fun.
Yeah. I see what you mean. It's hard because Zero's got such a... She's got such a simple face shape, and there's really not that much definition on her face itself.
Exactly.
Which is why it's so subtle. It's a challenge. But I think I'll slowly get there. I wish
I had a picture from this side.
Of Zero?
I mean, I bet there are pictures, but I'm just too lazy.
Not really.
Oh, actually, you have a picture from the side in there.
But it's more of a 3/4 view. It's not exactly from the side.
Fine. I don't need it to be 100%.
All right, I'm gonna get on those comments so we can get you back to studying. All right, Ryu, Yeah, I got your message, and lol, I replied, go to your dashboard, and it's under community and messages to read them. It's really weird. Yeah, YouTube isn't really sophisticated or designed well since 2010. It's designed to make you watch ads. That's it. That's what YouTube's goal is. I like some Assassin's Creed pre-rendered cutscenes too. And then the cutscene is gone, and then the true graphics is revealed. Yeah, that can be heartbreaking. That's the point, Daniel. We keep posting because we don't want you to leave, says MD.
Go for it. I support you.
Rex says, go study, Daniel. I completely...
No, I don't want to study.
Can you do this by Autodesk Maya?
I don't really have much skill in Maya yet.
Actually, I think the nodes comes out. Oh, wrong tool. I don't know if you can actually do sculpting in Maya, but you can certainly do polymodeling, which would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Not sculpting, no, but Blender, yes. Says Jim's Inkspot. Talisman skulls. How long have you guys been modeling? And did you take any professional classes for this or self-taught? I'm going to answer this one because Daniel's actually my teacher. I've been doing this for about a year, a little bit, like a year and 1 month now. I started with his tutorials and then moved on to other ones.
Yeah, and this is why it's so impressive. Like, imagine in 1 year you can already model like complete faces and talk about anatomy and be interactive on the communities and everything.
Yeah, and hang out with your teacher. Well, actually...
Never forget that. Social and personality skills are very important too.
Most certainly. Actually, you know, like, the Daniel from 2 years ago was my teacher.
I'm so
not like 4 years ago when he made the anime tutorial series, which is what I started with. His second anime character tutorial series is what I started with. So I started that one, and then 2 months later, while I'm working into it, because it's a very, very long series for someone who's never touched 3D design to just pick up. I pick it up, and I know Daniel at this. I think I know Daniel based off of his videos because I listened and I watched them over and over again so many times, and I'm learning everything I can from them that I can possibly glean. And then he posts the videos like, what would I make for a video game? What would you guys make? Post in the comments what you guys would make. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, I know exactly what I would make because I'm a writer. And I wrote this really grim, like World War III virtual reality war simulator based on like morale. Like depending on the morale, your comrades die. And like this really dark thing, and I'm like, Daniel, I wrote this game for you. I'm curious what you think. And we started talking, and he's like, yeah, I think I could only do about 2 characters, to be honest.
It's so funny how you start with this huge setting. I was like, oh, great idea. Yeah, let's do a slice of life 2 characters thing out of your idea.
Yeah, no, we moved on to like a slice of life, like a good slice of life.
But this is what I thought was very good about you back then, that you were able to say, oh yes, I can understand the situation and that makes sense. Let's, like, even though you spent so much effort into it and this was like your idea, you were still able to understand the like environment and to accept that we need to come up with different ideas, not to just be stuck on your one creation. That's very important to know, to be able to do, to like, even in character design, you make a character for a week and you might just have to dump it all and start over. This happens, so it's important to be able to do that without, getting stuck on your art.
I would like to say something about that. The skill to being able to discard things that don't work, that didn't come from 3D. That actually comes from being in a band. Because a lot of times I'll write lyrics over a song and they're just not working, and then you have to go, okay, this is not what the song needs, and then you go write some new lyrics. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
You have to be adaptive when you work with people, because if everyone's holding on to what their idea of what things should be when it's a collaborative effort, no one's going to get anywhere. You got to put your best foot forward and see what comes out of the creative union between the different creative personalities and the people involved.
I agree.
But long story short, yeah, I've been doing it for one year and like 1 month. Daniel's been doing this for 8 years. It's 9.
3D in general, I have been doing since I'm 12, so now it's 9 years.
9 years.
But sculpting, I've only started maybe 3 years ago. And I was really bad at the beginning. I don't think I had... The only advantage that I had is that I was able to learn faster because of the knowledge that I have. But I started pretty much out at the same level because sculpting is so different.
All right, moving on. That was a long one. Wishing Irish. I'd be down to watch a stream of Daniel studying.
No, thank you. I appreciate your interest, but
let's see. MD Millennium in a band. He can get waifu if he wants to. Why? Thank you. You know, to me, bands were never really about getting girls or anything like that. It was about having fun and really working hard with people, and it was a real treat to work. I play bass on the side because I'm a terrible guitarist, and then I needed a bassist in my band. But it was never about getting money or fame. It was just about having some good times working hard with people and producing music. Which doesn't make money, but...
Unfortunately, many things don't.
Let's see. Daniel, where you learn the anatomy and stuff. I saw your concept art. It was awesome. Says Lucy.
There's not a specific source for me. I just try to follow all these artists on YouTube. There's this guy who goes by the name of Proco on YouTube, who does a very, very easy to understand series on anatomy. And, you know, I just start introducing myself to the kind of part that I want to study by watching his video first, and then I'll move on and use some 3D anatomy atlases to kind of look at all the shapes by myself in 3D. I will look at some medical videos on YouTube to get the medical point of view on it. I'll try to remember names, but I never really managed to, actually. But then I do many drawings, so it's really collecting the information from many sources for me.
Man, you're so professional. I love you for that, Daniel. I swear.
That is sarcasm, isn't it?
No, it's not. I mean it. I absolutely mean it.
What
and
about
I'm not
it?
saying in a detrimental way at all. Trust me. I'm saying I love the variation that you do to things, because like when I learn anatomy, one of the things I do is I find a bodybuilder, male or female, it doesn't matter, that I think is really good looking, and then I study their muscles, and I'm like, what's this muscle? Why does this look so good on them? And then I go look it up. I'm like, okay, that's what this is.
But both actually works. I mean, it's totally
I know.
fine.
I know that. It's just looking at it, I'm just like, wow, you're awesome for that, you know, because I just do it in a weird way. Just, you know, looking at pictures of Jeff Seed, if you've never seen that guy, he's probably got an IQ of maybe 70, so Forrest Gump, but he's got some athletic, like Olympian genetics. He looks like a Roman god. That and Frank Yang.
Other artists, oh sorry, I just hit the mic. Other artists recommend the same thing though. I've heard before that some people say go and study the I don't know, boxers and wrestlers and those bodybuilders, because they have really good anatomy to see.
Let's see. Books at times suck though, or books suck at times though. Possibly so, Ray Akuma. I mean, Ryu, if you're reading a dictionary, it can be pretty bland. Mirror Man, or Erica from last time, whatever. Mirror Man from last time says, Daniel, I finished making our first character and I'm calling a quit. Oh no. He's the one who's working on the game project in, I think it was Unity, if I'm not mistaken. Or it was Unreal. It was a monster game.
Well, everybody has to find their own thing.
Rexonaut says the neck is too thick for a female, I think. I wasn't going to say that, but yes, I agree. He
You
slimmed
should
it
have
down
said it.
some.
Yeah, I actually read the comment and I straight away made it slimmer.
Oh, well, I was trying to look at not obvious things. I was trying to look at the real subtleties.
I don't see these. Like, if I work on it all the time, I stop
All right,
seeing
your
it,
lip
so
shape.
it's-
Your lip shape. It's not feminine. That's a masculine lip shape.
Ah, okay.
I mean, you
I
know
think I
where...
see the lower lip?
No, the upper lip. Give it more of an arch. Zoom into it and make it sharper.
It's hard to interpret what sharper means.
All right, so here, I'll draw it on my model real quick. Let me...
I mean, just modify it in an extreme way on your model.
Okay.
What you mean.
And
And I'll try to replicate it here.
Make that sharper.
I think I'll try doing this by moving the middle down because I don't want to make the lips any thicker.
Yeah.
You'll see what I mean in a second.
See how that's sharper? It looks terrible, but see how that's a lot sharper?
yeah.
That curve? That's what I mean by... There you go. There you go. And the corners of the lips, raise them up at the bottom.
But that is something bit... what do you call it? It is a bit against anatomy. It comes from... You have to do it the right way, anyways. Because
Anyway,
it's actually going down. The fold is actually going down, but the muscles kind of pull it up behind the muscle that goes above it. So you kind of need to layer it correctly. But you're right, maybe that adds something.
I don't know. I want advice for yours, because I took yours and you were right. The lips, they weren't protruding on the sides as much as they should have to indicate, things are right. God, these lips are so complex, though.
Look, I can tell you one more about the mouth.
Yes, please.
One thing that I feel that you're missing is kind of this side of the lip really blends into this lower part, and there is really a whole muscle structure kind of that is below this, so you can really do a block in, like here. You will see it in a second coming up. And like in your case, I mean, it would almost be better if you kind of went the opposite direction and kind of went in a little bit, like here, to make it even. Like you will see it again in a couple of seconds. The second version I do is probably the move that you want to do to kind of get this right. Not this one yet.
Yours is looking really feminine right there.
Like this kind of thing that you see now.
Okay.
Get this a bit inwards, maybe. You can also try using the move brush or something along those lines. And actually, I really like the outcome. That's actually something that I want to push myself further.
Collaborative effort. Thank you. I should read some of these comments. Hair will flip anywhere the 2D designer want, and he will make hair more volume. What the hell? Do you want a Medusa hair for your character? Question mark.
I don't know the context.
You mean Proco? Question mark. Proco is great.
Yeah, probably that person.
Proco it is. Yeah. You mean Proco? Proco is great, says Cupcake. Let's see.
Oh, actually, he's also one of the contributors to the book that I mentioned before. What was it called again? Anatomy of Facial Expression. He's actually even part of that one, so he makes great resources for anatomy.
Daniel, I gotta say, those lips are looking amazing.
Those what?
Those lips are looking amazing.
Are they better now?
Oh, most certainly, dude. I would kiss those lips.
There we go. I'll leave them like this then.
Where's my clay? Where's my clay? Let's see. Getting back to chat. When are you gonna go study?
When am I going to study? Good question.
Saw him appeared in Modern Day James live stream, says Lucy. I think they're talking about Proco. MD says, the bromance is strong with you two, winky face. I would say we're good friends.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my god, that's already the lower end of the comments. I'm getting scared.
Yeah, Lucy says, my lecture also used some of his video during lectures. Lucy also writes, every Proco video intro song is cringy. Oh, Cupcake Tyrant, I'm going to bed now. Yawning, sleepy face.
Good
Great
night.
stream. I'll keep my eyes open for more in the future. Do you have an established schedule for these, Daniel, by any chance?
For the stream? Did I get
Yes.
that right for stream?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to be either Friday. Well, it's Japanese time though. So either from me Friday night or Saturday in the morning. Saturday morning is the current time. If it's not around this time, it's likely to be about 12 or maybe 14 hours earlier, or something around 12 hours earlier. So one of those two. I still can't say for sure. I still have to see like how I feel after classes on Friday, if I want to do streams on that day, or and also what time works for you. Like, I don't know.
You talking to me?
You too. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Today was fine. Last time was fine. It just we'll discuss that. Because I don't really have an open schedule. As long as I know beforehand, I can make things happen when they need to.
I guess for now, just around today or yesterday, around this time, we'll be around. Hopefully every week.
Yeah.
Me at least, and hopefully you too. All right. Are we at the end of the comments?
I will get to them in a second. Wishing Iris, I will jump right in between that bromance. I'm afraid you're going to have to jump in a really long distance because I don't think that's happening. Daniel, your sculpt looks like a female version of Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, it does.
I don't know who that is.
American actor. MD writes, yeah, a bit like Ryan Reynolds. All right, we made it to the bottom, Daniel.
Wonderful. And I'll save my file here and I won't do any more work. I really enjoyed it. The sad thing is I won't be able to sculpt now for the next couple of days because I really have to focus on my studies.
Oh, I can imagine so.
But there we go.
I don't need to study. I don't need to worry about I'll do fine. And you're like, no, I actually really need to study. It's like, we've been telling you that.
No, like I can schedule things. Like all the time that I overdo now, I just have to like stay up a bit longer at night. But who cares? Like 1 hour more or less sleep, it doesn't really change everything.
I can guarantee you, Wishing Iris, that Daniel hasn't seen Deadpool.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched it.
I didn't even know if he had, but I can guarantee you he hasn't, and he probably won't.
The kind of the humor was too much for me, I think. I watched the trailer. Anyways, should I say some final words?
It's your stream, man. It's your stream.
Can I say some final words?
Yes. You may have some more.
All right, then thanks everybody once again for joining today's stream, and I'm sure some people will be watching it in the future after the live. So thanks to all the others who watch it afterwards, and thanks to Millennium for joining us this week again. For next week, I hope that we'll get a third guest. Maybe there is a possibility that we get some more people on the stream, and then we can have some more in-depth discussions. Anyways, a lot to look forward to. So have a good week until then. And do you want to say goodbye to you, maybe?
Yes. Thanks for having me on the stream again, Daniel. I had a really lot of fun talking with you and chat with everyone that I remember from last time. And I actually do remember people, so it's been a real great experience today. And I learned a lot.
Wonderful. Then goodbye, everybody. See you next week.
Have a good one, everyone.